as I swiftly approached the microphone to speaketh my inner thoughts through the canal of my gape in the center of the facial expression device. I was ready to tell you, welcome back to Dramatis Lectio of the Eye of Argon. Yes, we need all the cocaine. Thank you. Pass it up.
That's not cocaine.
Okay, we need all the Skittles then.
Yes, they're ground up Skittles.
Sounds like the perfect idea. So, okay, here's a little summary for the previous reading.
Was anything happened last chapter?
Yes, okay, so Charizard the Barbarian. I was about to get it on with the alien singer from the Fifth Element when suddenly anthropomorphic oval-shaped cowman attacked. And they had a king who was also a prince, a sovereign, and a liege. He wanted to kill him, but then he wanted to imprison him for life, but then he rebelled, then he was knocked unconscious. The Barbarian, I mean. And now here we are in chapter 3. That's what I gather from whatever it is that we read at the time.
Yes, so, as per usual, we will be doing the same rules as last time. One of us will read, and if one of us laughs at the book itself,
It was technically published. In fact, the people who published this book, they publicly apologized for it.
Wow, really?
Really?
Wow, that's...
If you do an image Google search, you can find easily the apology letter.
Alright, so anyway, back to the rules. If one of us laughs at the story, then we have to pass it along to the next person, which is me and Madhog in this case.
Yes. Okay. I concluded the last chapter.
Alright.
I think. So you should start this one.
Alright. Consciousness returned to Grigna, to stigmatic pools at his mind.
In stigmatic pools.
In stigmatic pools as his mind gradually cleared of the cobwebs cluttering its inner recesses.
Wow.
Yet the Stygian cloud of charcoal ebony remained, an incompatible shield of blackness, enhanced by the bleak absence of sound. By the way, the other person's allowed to laugh, for those who didn't know.
Yes. Oh god.
Grigna's
complete rubbish.
Yes. Grigna's muddled brain reeled from the shock of the blow he had received to the base of his skull.
And received is spelled wrong.
Yes, I keep misspelling it that way as well, actually, funnily enough. The events leading to his predicament were slow to filter back to him. He dickered. He dickered. Why? I am Argon. Why did you have to put that trap there? Of course people would laugh at that. If they said dickered aloud.
Oh, and I was invaded by a sudden wave of mirth at the dickings of this sentence.
They don't dick around, do they?
Yeah, I'll dicker around, okay? I'm going to try and read from here. He dickered. And yes, the bar is still giggling. He dickered with...
What'd you laugh at?
At the same word.
You laughed at the same word?
It's still funny. I can't.
Okay, I'll try. Okay.
I cannot. Oh, God. Oh, help me.
Okay, I'm here to save the day. He dickered with the notion... No! I cannot laugh at this word! No, me! Stop it!
Pass this!
Damn it, me!
We can't get past this. It's impossible.
Stop being immature and get past it. Madhog, please. Be the savior. Save our sanity. It wasn't even the word dickered this time. It was just the sentence of he dickered with the notion.
Oh, God. Oh, and the more I laugh, the more I feel like laughing. It's a vicious cycle. Oh, God.
Okay, breathe in. Let's do this. Come on, we can do this.
I don't know if I can, man.
No, look at me. Look at me. I'm slapping you in the face. Come on, we're a tag team here.
I cannot look at you.
Okay, look at the screen. You can do this.
The screen is filled with Dickering.
It's filled with Dickens of Dickering. Now read.
Okay. Yeah. This is the hardest part. He dickered with the notion that he was...
At this rate, we're going to skip this whole line. Okay, I'll try it then. Come on. He dickered with the notion that he was dead and had descended or sunk. Finally.
Oh, you're my hero.
Finally.
You're my hero.
However it may be, to be shadowed land beyond the aperture of the grave.
The aperture of the grave, apparently.
Aperture graves. I'm making a note here. Okay, but yes. Rejected the hypothesis. I don't think he's smart enough to even know what a hypothesis is.
He's smart enough to lecture a king. There was also a liege and a prince and a noble.
Okay, but rejected the hypothesis when his memory sifted back within his grips. This was not the land of the dead. It was something infinitely more precarious than... Okay, let me be more precarious than anything the grave could offer.
A presidential campaign debate?
Death promised an infinity of peace. Yes, we get it. Not the finite misery of an inactive life of confined torture, forever concealed from the life-bearing shafts of the beloved rising sun. The orb that had been before taken for granted, yet now cherished above all else, to be forever refused further glimpses of the snow-capped summits of the land of his birth, never again to witness the thrill of plundering unexplored lands beyond the crest of bleeding horizon, and perhaps worst of all, of the denial, to ever again encompass the lustful excitement of caressing the naked curves of a body of a trim young wench. This is all. This is a bag of nothing.
It is, isn't it?
Where's my real Christmas presents?
They were all dickered away.
This was indeed one of the buried chasms of hell, concealed within the depths, the inner depths of the palace's despised interior, a fitful ebony chamber devised to drive to the brink of insanity the minds of the unfortunately condemned through the inapt solitude of a limbo of listless, dreary silence.
Chapter 3.5.
Yes, they're doing this, folks.
Okay, that was a chapter, apparently.
And
that was a chapter, and now chapter 3.5.
This is not good formatting.
How was this approved to be published in any form?
Why is this even published?
3.5 gets even better in that regard.
Really? Read on then.
Okay, it's technically a new chapter. Technically, I think. So,
Yes,
going to start this.
Yes, might as well. I mean, they did it, so you might as well follow our format.
Dickard. I had to get that out of my system.
I think we've all dickered out now.
A tightly rung elliptical circle or torches cast their wavering. Okay, I like this. It's either an elliptical circle or torches for short.
Yeah, it's like Haribo or nondescript gummies. Take your pick, folks.
Clearly meant to say of instead of or here.
Yes, could be a possibility.
A tightly rung elliptical circle or torches cast their wavering shafts prancing morbidly over the smooth surface of a rectangular, rigid altar. It can never be just one adjective. It had to be at least 2 or 3.
And apparently the altar cannot be any other shape than rectangular.
Expertly chiseled forms of grotesque gargoyles grace the oblique rim, protuberating.
Protuberating. That's a word, apparently.
The length of the grim orifice of death, staring forever ahead into nothingness in complete ignorance of the bloody rites enacted in their presence. In their prescience. Sorry to say. It says prescience. Wow.
Wow. I have no idea what to say anymore.
Brown flaking stains decorated the golden surface of the ridge surrounding the altar, which banked to a small slit at the lower right-hand corner of the altar. Okay, altar or altar?
It's usually it's altar.
Okay, pick a word and stick with it.
Yes,
okay?
they need to stick with one spelling.
The slit stood above a crudely pounded
No.
pail. A crudely pounded garbage pail kid, which had several silver meshed chalices hanging at its sides. Dangling at the rim of golden mallet, the handle of which was engraved with images of twisted faces and groved at its far end with slots designed for a snug hand grip. Wait, was this a sentence?
Yes, this was a sentence, apparently.
Okay. I thought it was building up to something, but apparently it didn't. The head of the mallet was slightly larger than a clenched fist and shaped into a smooth... Oh god.
This word.
It's an oval mass. Of course it had to be an oval mass.
Yes, it couldn't be, round. Or anything of that sort.
It's a smooth oval mass. Just like a decapitated head, it's an oval mass. Encircling the marble altar was a congregation of leering shaman. I don't know. Eerie chants of a bygone age, originating unknown eons before the memory of man, were being uttered from the buried recesses of the alkalites' deep lings.
Deep lings?
I don't know. Orange paint was smeared in generous globules over the tops of THW instead of D, of the priests' wrinkled shaven scalps, while golden rings projected from the lobes of their pink ears. Ornate robes of luscious purple satin. Okay, enclosed their bulging torsos, attached around their waists with silvered silk lashes. God damn it! End this freaking description already! Silvered silk lashes latched with ebony buckles in the shape of morose, misshaped skulls. Once again, dangling around their necks were oval-fashioned medallions held by thin gold chains, featuring in their centers blood-red rubies which resembled crimson fetish eyeballs.
Well, at least you said eyeballs for once.
I don't know. I have no idea what am I reading. I have no idea what I've been reading for the past 5 minutes.
Crimson fetish, apparently. So people have... Apparently colours is now considered a fetish.
Cushioning their bare feet were plush red felt slippers with pointed golden spikes projecting from their tips. Situated in front of the altar and directly adjacent to the copper pail was a massive jade idol, a misshaped, hideous bust of the shaman's pagan deity. The shimmering green idol was placed in a sitting posture on an ornately carved golden throne raised upon a round, dvori, plated dais. A dvori. They probably meant ivory.
Maybe, yeah, because I don't
But then again, I have no idea what kind of language is this supposed to be, because it certainly is not English.
Nope, it definitely isn't.
It must be the alien language in the Fifth Element or something.
Well, it's not a language at all by Google standards.
Yeah, I tried to Google translate all this. See what comes out. Oh boy. Its bulging arms and webbed hands resting... It's missing a verb here.
Webbed hands resting on the padded arm.
It's missing the possessive.
Okay, so let's carry on.
It instead of should be its. It bulging arms and webbed hands resting on the padded arms of the seat. Its head was entwined in golden snake-like coils hanging over its oblong ears, oh my god.
Wow, I didn't think I would see that word again since oblong world.
Which tapered off to thin, hollow points. Its nose was a bulging triangular mass, sunken at its sides with gaping nostrils. Wow, the misspells keep coming and coming and coming. Dramatic beneath the nostrils was a twist, shaggy-lipped mouth. What is this? Dramatic beneath the nostrils. What is this?
I have no idea. What's been dramatic? Is the nostrils been dramatic? I have no...
It's your turn, finally.
Alright. Dramatic beneath the nostrils was a twisted, shaggy-lipped mouth, giving the impression of a slobbering, sadistic grimace.
You cannot hope to be taken seriously if you use shaggy as an actual adjective and you mean it.
Yeah, like I'm doing right now. At the foot of the heathen deity, a slender, pale-faced female, naked but for a golden, jeweled harness enshrouding her huge, outcropping breasts. Supporting long...
Apparently her breasts are a pair of corn plantations.
Yes, apparently her breasts were so huge they had to crop them out with Photoshop. Okay, supporting long silver laces which extended to her thigh, stood before the pearl-white field with noticeable shivers. I don't even want to know what was pearl-white. Okay, but noticeable shivers travelling up and down the length of her exquisitely molded body.
This is the worst porn I've ever read.
This is the worst.
Also the most incomprehensible.
Her delicate lips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she attempted to conceal herself from the piercing stare of the ambivalent idol.
Ambivalent.
Ambivalent idol.
Apparently, the idol is at tsundere.
Yes. Glaring directly down towards her was the stony, cycloptic face of the bloated deity.
Needs a diet. The deity.
Gaping from its single oblong socket was scintillating, many faceted scarlet emerald.
It's either scarlet or emerald. Two different colors.
You can't have both. A brilliant gem seeming to possess a life of all of its own. Well, that explains a lot.
We are the crystal gems. We'll always save the day.
And if you think we can...
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay. Just a priceless gleaming stone, capable of domineering the wealth of conquering empires. The Eye of Argon.
And that's a chapter. No, seriously, that's chapter 3 and chapter 3.5. A description of a room with people. That's a chapter. And that's what constitutes a freaking chapter.
And MacGuffin, most likely.
Oh my god, this is so
And title drop in one go. Also, worst porno story ever. I've seen fanfiction writers.
How was this approved? How was this published by anyone?
Did anyone even read this?
They had to.
Were they high?
Why?
They must have been high when they read this.
I mean, I get it that The Last Unicorn was popular in 1969, so maybe this was made to ride on the success of that particular fantasy novella. And they thought since it sounded fancy, then it must be just as good. Now, noticing that The Last Unicorn, yes, uses a quote-unquote fancy language, but it's also comprehensible and to the point. You know?
Yes, I know.
Which is the exact opposite of this redundant fest. An entire chapter to describe a room. That's unforgivable.
Yes, it definitely is. Ugh. Alright, chapter 4. Now reminds me too much of the Champions of Xanth, I think, if that rings a bell.
Can we read it?
No, I don't even know if I can even find that book.
Okay.
All I just know is the author keeps mentioning the main protagonist's breasts every time he talks about her.
As you do. All knowledge of measuring time had escaped Grigner. All knowledge of measuring time. Already this sentence pisses me off. When a person is deprived of the sun, moon, and stars, and good storytelling, he loses all conception of time as he had previously understood it. It seemed as if years had passed if time were being measured by terms of misery and mental anguish. Yet, he estimated that his stay had only been a few days in length. He had slept 3 times and had been fed 5 times since his awakening in the crypt. However, when the actions of the body are restricted, its needs are also affected. The need for nourishment and slumber are directly oh my god, this is turning into a PSA about conducting an healthy lifestyle, isn't it?
Oh gosh, real. This is gonna be amazing to riff on then.
This is, wow, okay. Okay, meet Bill. Bill doesn't sleep at night because he goes out with friends. Little did Bill know that his unhealthy lifestyle would lead him to gruesome death. You know, as old PSAs are usually wanted.
Gruesome death involving diabetes.
The need for nourishment and slumber are directly proportional to the functions the body has performed. Meaning that when free and active, Grigner may become hungry every 6 hours and witness the desire for sleep every 15 hours. Whereas in his present condition, he may encounter the need for food every 10 hours. What the hell is this? What the actual hell is this?
I fell asleep.
This is terrible. Are we seriously doing a PSA here?
I would be wondering if we are.
And the want for rest every 20 hours. You see, all methods he had before depended upon were extinct in the dismal pit. Hence, he may have been imprisoned for 10 minutes or 10 years. He did not know, resulting in a disheartened emotion deep within his being. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This explains nothing! Other than he's bummed out.
It really doesn't. This is terrible. This is getting increasingly more bad by the second.
Oh gosh.
The food, if you can honor the mouldering lumps of fetid mush to that extent, was born to him by two... Really? Really? Was born to him. He gave birth to food, and then he eat it. Great.
Yeah, 2 guards gave birth to the food, and then Grigna had to eat the food, baby.
No, the guards were the doctors.
It sounds like to me that the guards gave birth to it because it was born to him by 2 guards.
Was born to him by 2 guards who opened a portal, a magical
Never
portal.
mind, the portal's the mother.
Was by 2 guards who opened a portal at the top of his enclosure and shoved it to him in wooden bowls, retrieving the food and water bowels. Wooden bowls.
Yeah, bowls.
And bowels sounds too similar.
Yeah.
And water bowels from his previous meal at the same time. After which, how can they do that at the same time if they had to open a portal at the top of his... never mind. After which they threw back the bolts on the iron latch and returned to their other duties. Since deprived of all other means of nourishment, Grignar was impelled, I would have said compelled, but okay, was impelled to eat the tainted slop in order to ward off the pangs of starvation, though as he stuffed it into his mouth with his filthy fingers and struggled to force it down his throat, he imagining it was that which had been spurned by the hounds stationed at various segments of the palace. So basically, he was eating dog residue.
Ew.
That's, yeah, okay. Thank you for the acrobatics of words there.
I wish you avoided this, actually, author.
There was little in the Baron, again with Baron with 1 R. It's a mistake. There was little in the Baron vault that could occupy his body or mind. He had paced out the length and width of the enclosure time and time again and tested every granite slab which consisted the walls of the prison in hopes of finding a hidden passage to freedom, all of which was to no avail other than to keep him busy and distract him from wandering to thoughts of what he believed was his future. He had memorized the number of strides from one end to the other of the cell, and knew the exact number of slabs which made up the bleak dungeon. Numerous, heavily misspelled.
Yes.
Numerous schemes were introduced and alternately discarded in turn as they occurred to unravel to him no means of escape which stood the slightest chance of success.
With where's the other C? C, don't leave my other C's.
Yeah, only 1 C. That's C minus there. C minus, get it? We're missing a C. Oh, yeah. God. Oh, God. What's happening to me? That was terrible.
What's happening to us both?
Oh, there's more. Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted.
As we continue to read this.
Yep. Suddenly, without notive... What?
Notive?
What does that mean?
Define tive.
Is it even a real word?
No.
Time. It meant
it must
to
be
say
time. Yes, it has to be time.
Oh my god! This is like reading My Immortal, except 10 times more redundant because it's purple prose.
This is they made My Immortal the worst fanfiction ever written. More comprehensible.
Well, at least at first. Oh god. He was routed. By the way, was routed is a whole word.
Yeah,
apparently.
so it's like was routed.
He was routed from his contemplations as he detected a faint scratching sound at the end of the crypt opposite him. It was Uncle Creepy conducting his show.
Probably.
The sound seemed to be caused by something trying to scrape away at the granite, at the granite.
Granite. So
Wow.
So it's like really tight grant. Yeah.
The granite blocks the floor of the enclosure consisted of. The sandy scratching of something like an animal's claws. Grigners gradually groped, by the way.
Grope tends to mean you want to squish something?
Yep. Grigner gradually groped. He then received a sexual harassment lawsuit by the walls of the cell. Grigner gradually groped his way to the other end of the vault, carefully feeling his way along with his hands ahead of him. So far, there wasn't much to laugh at.
Yeah.
Only boredom. When a few inches from the wall, a loud, penetrating squeal and the scampering of small padded feet reverberated from the walls of the roughly hewn chamber. Grigner threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks.
Our warrior, ladies and gentlemen. Brave Grigner.
I almost laughed there. They said buttocks. Oh boy. Apparently we're in 6th grade.
Yes, we're immature again.
No, I mean, the word buttock.
Oh, yeah.
Is super childish. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in its flesh while gnashing toward his throat with its grinding white teeth. Whoa.
Whoa.
This sex scene is violent. Its sour, fetid breath scorching the...
Well, actually, it's not squirming even. It's skirming.
There is a Q, there is an I, but it's missing the U that goes between the two of them. Sacrebleu. The skirming barbarian's dilating nostrils. You're missing an apostrophe here. Grigner grappled with the lashing flexor muscles of the repugnant body of a gargantuan brown-hided rat.
Well, that exists.
Striving to hold its razor teeth from his juicy jugular. I like that, juicy jugular. As its beady grey organs of sight. Its beady grey organs of sight. Just say eyes! Just say freaking eyes!
You said eyeballs in the 3.5.
My god.
What? Are you allergic to it?
Right now.
Are you allergic to eyes, Jim Fies?
Are you allergic to writing? I should say. As its beady grey organs of sight glazed into the flaring emeralds of its prey, taking hold of the rodent around its lean, growling stomach with both hands, Grigner pried it from his crimson-rent breast. His breast, which is for rent, apparently. Oh my god.
I'm thinking about a Dido song right now.
I think I'm dying on the inside. removing small patches of flayed flesh from his chest in a motion between the squalid black claws of the starving beast. Holding the rodent at arm's length, he cupped his right hand over its frothing face, constricting.
You're missing an I here, or A.
Apparently, it's constricting so much, it's contracting the word itself, basically.
Oh wait, maybe it's contradicting.
Contracting his fingers into a vice-like fist over the quivering head. Retaining his grips on the rat, Grigner flexed his outstretched arms while slowly twisting his right hand clockwise and his left hand counterclockwise motion. Just to say that you're breaking his neck!
Why is
Just say it!
Are we doing ballet? Are we doing...
The rodent let out a tortured squall. Maybe you meant to say a squeal? No, instead he vomited a squall Leonhardt.
I don't want to be a part of this.
Let out a tortured squall, drawing scarlet as it violently dug its foam-flecked fangs into the barbarian's sweating palm, causing his face to contort to an ugly grimace as he cursed beneath his breath.
Brief?
His breath.
Brareth.
Wow! The more you try to sound smart, the more it points to us how dumb you are with all these silly mistakes.
Yes.
With a loud crack, the rodent's head parted from its squirming torso, sending out a sprinkling shower of crimson gore.
Oh my gosh.
And trailing a slimy string of disjointed vertebrae. Snapped trachea, esophagus, and jugular, disjointed hyoid bone, morose purple stretched hide, and blood-seared muscles. This story is making gore boring.
Yeah, this is the most boring and violentless ballet I've ever had to read.
Flinging the broken body to the floor, Gregner shook his blood-streaked hands and wiped them against his thigh until dry. Then wiped the blood that had showered his face and from his eyes. Again, seating himself upon the jagged floor, he prepared to once more revamp his glum meditations. So what exactly was accomplished here?
We killed a rat, guys.
Whoa, level 1 enemy. He told himself that as long as he still breathed, the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this, but found it hard to comprehend in his gloomy surroundings. Yet he was still alive, his bulging sinews at their peak of marvel, his struggling mind floating in a mirror of impressed excellence of thought.
Stroking ego.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Plot after plot.
Which this book has none of.
Yes. Plot after plot sifted through his mind in energetic contemplations. Then it hit him. Minutes may have passed in silent thought, or days, hours in our case. He could not tell, but he stumbled at last upon a plan that he considered as holding a slight margin of plausibility. Wait, but he could not tell. You just said he could not tell.
I'm just confused by the story easily right now.
What story? It's all... One chapter is a description of a room. The other chapter is him killing a rat. And that's it.
Good point.
The pacing. The pacing. He might die in the attempt, but he knew he would not submit without a final bloody struggle. It was not a foolproof plan, yet it built up a store of renewed vortexed energy in his overwrought soul, which is one word.
This is getting a bit much.
Though he might perish in the execution of... We get it! We get it! Get on with it! Though he might perish in the execution of the scheme, he would still be escaping the life of infinite torture in store for him. For him.
In one word, for him.
Oh, God.
For him.
Either way, he would still cheat the gloating prince of the succored revenge his sadistic mind craved so dearly. The guards would soon come to bear him off the prince's buried mines of dread, giving him the sought-after opportunity to execute his newly formulated plan. Once again, groping his way along the rough floor, Grigulner finally found his tool in a pool of congealed gore. The carcass of the decapitated rodent. The tool that the very filth he had sentenced to spawned. When the time came for action, he would have to be prepared. So he set himself to rending the sticky hulk in grim silence, searching by the touch of his fingertips for the lever to freedom. This was such a complete and utter waste of time and oxygen.
Indeed. Oh, gosh.
And this was chapter 4, folks. He kills a bloody rat.
That's all he did. Now that I think about it, what have we learned about this Grigner guy?
He can think a lot, I guess.
And he has women on his mind a lot.
And he wants to escape, I guess.
That's all you learn about him. No goals, no motivation. This guy might as well be cardboard. No, actually, no. Cardboard actually has personality.
He might as well be Roman Reigns.
I think even Roman Reigns has personality.
If you want to be generous.
Do we continue?
No, I think we're done for tonight.
Yes, I think we are as well. Oh my lord.
This was tiresome for me. I basically read the whole thing.
Yes, and there was
honestly after
Dickings back then.
After freaking what was it again?
Dickering.
After Dickard, I thought we were on for a lots of laugh. Instead, we went into a slump of boredom. This was just
this was sad.
This was sad, really. This was just hard to get through.
Let's just call it a night and then hope for next time to be a more
entertaining, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Yeah.
I can only hope.
Oh boy.
So thanks for joining us, folks, for our continued reading of The Eye of Argon.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you guys next time for Chapter 5. If you still want to listen to us rage and laugh and even make no sense.
Well, whatever you do, remember not to be dickers about it.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's it. We're outcropping the breast of this recording.
Outcropping the breast. Which is for rent. He rents a space in his breast because it's that spacious.
This book, this novella is getting to us. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night. Jeez.